If this were from the 15th century, it would be worth in excess of $5,000.
So how old do you think it is?
Well, I don't believe it's from the 15th century.
No.
A cavalry sword.
Civil War officer sword, model 1860. Belonged to Colonel Bassett.
This is pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
The episode wastes absolutely no time dropping a bombshell. A guy casually wheels in an iron lung, and the whole shop freezes. Rick explains this nightmare machine dates back to the 1930s, used to keep polio patients breathing. The seller confidently asks for a jaw-dropping $100,000, calling it a priceless medical artifact. Rick just sees oversized scrap metal and pure horror fuel. No market, no buyers, no deal. The seller leaves stunned.
Yeah, how can I help you?
I brought a big, heavy piece of iron in for you to look at.
Okay, a piece of iron?
It's a medical device, antique.
Okay, bring it around to my back gate. I'll take a look at it there.
All right.
Come on, chum. Times like this make me really happy that we have a space behind the shop. So when those really large items come in,
Then, instant mood shift. The old man sends handing him a list straight out of Prank Hall of Fame. A left-handed coffee cup, a bucket of steam, and a glass hammer. Corey can barely contain his laughter, explaining it's an old Navy prank. Spoiler alert, he absolutely is not.
Don't worry about it, Corey. Chumlee's always slacking off, but I got a plan to fix that boy's wagon. I made up a list. I want Chumlee to go find some stuff.
Is making soap on the list?
No,
let me see your list. Left-handed coffee cup, bucket of steam, can of strip paint,
it's stripe paint. I couldn't spell it.
and a glass hammer.
Yeah.
So fool's errands.
Yeah.
Next up, things get space weird. A seller brings in what he claims is a NASA space shuttle toilet seat. Rick stares at it like it's a prank, joking it's designed for a very small butt. The seller explains it was developed in the 80s and modified once women joined shuttle crews. He wants $400. Rick's intrigued but skeptical, so he calls in Mark Hall Patton to get the truth.
I've got something out of this world to show you. This is a NASA space shuttle toilet seat.
Okay, we have a space toilet seat for a really, really small butt.
Right, you need a good tight seal so there's no leakage. You either have to hold yourself down or maybe push from the ceiling, push yourself down onto the seat.
Used it?
No.
All right.
Mark breaks down the design, explaining the foam, vinyl, and how astronauts had to strap themselves in so nothing floated away. Yep, even that. He confirms it's a legitimate shuttle program design, but there's a catch. It never flew. No titanium insert, no serial number. Still, NASA collectors love oddball items. Rick knows it's cool, but flipping it won't be easy.
So I'm having my buddy Mark check it out. We have a space...
NASA space shuttle toilet seat.
All right. I have to ask, where the heck did you get this?
Well, out of college, I took a job with Sanderson Plumbing Products. One of the engineers that worked on this program offered this to me.
It's interesting. In space.
Negotiations kick off fast. The seller sticks hard at $400. While Rick worries buyers will think it came from a porta potty behind a gas station. After some back and forth, they settle at $300. The seller celebrates like he just won an Olympic medal, calling it the greatest toilet seat sale ever. Rick admits he may have just bought the strangest item in shop history.
$400.
I'll give you $200 for it.
About 400.
I mean, this is my big problem. Someone's gonna think it's off a porta potty.
Okay.
How about $300?
$300?
$300.
$300.
His money, man.
You own it.
All right.
Meanwhile, Chumlee's prank quest continues. He walks into stores confidently asking for AC batteries and striped paint, completely unaware neither exists. At one stop, he actually buys dry ice, already plotting revenge on the old man, laughing at Chum's unmatched dedication to nonsense. This side plot is pure pawn shop gold.
Stuff that doesn't exist, and he wants me to go out and buy it.
Left-handed coffee cup, bucket of steam, and a glass hammer.
So fool's errands.
Yeah.
So I had a brilliant idea, and I figured I'd get some custard at the same time.
Is there anything else you need?
That depends on whether or not you want to sell me some dry ice.
Then comes a serious literary moment. A woman brings in a signed copy of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas by Hunter S. Thompson. She says she spent a weekend with him in 1980 and got the inscription personally. The note is unhinged in the most Hunter S. Thompson way possible. She asks $800, betting on his cult legend status.
Tell me about the weekend with Hunter S. Thompson. That sounds like a lot of fun.
I had a call from a friend one night who worked at a resort in Phoenix saying, Hunter S. Thompson is here. He needs somebody who knows how to a type to help him write an article. And in the course of about 48 hours, he got nothing.
Rick is clearly tempted. He's a genuine fan. Still, he plays it smart and calls in Rebecca, the book expert. She explains Thompson basically invented gonzo journalism and that his inscriptions are famously unique. She confirms both the signature and inscription are legit, but values it closer to $400 to $500. That $800 ask? Way too ambitious.
Earlier, a woman brought in a copy of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, signed by Hunter S. Thompson. It's an amazing item, but I really don't know what to offer her, so I called in Rebecca to come help out.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. And it looks to be an inscribed copy.
It is.
Hunter Thompson said that he got into writing because it was the only thing he was good at.
Negotiations heat up fast. Rick opens at $250. The seller fires back with $375. Rick bumps to $300, but she pushes hard for $350. After a tense pause, Rick caves. Deal at $350. The seller leaves thrilled, while Rick admits he paid extra purely because he loves Hunter S. Thompson. Sometimes fandom wins.
Nice to meet you.
Originally, I was hoping for maybe $800, but I really didn't have any good idea what the book was worth.
Strictly because I'm a big Hunter S. Thompson fan, I'll offer you $250.
$250? How about $375?
To wrap the chaos, Chumlee returns triumphantly with his completed list. Steam bucket, labeled mug, and all. He proudly hands everything over, expecting praise. Instead, the old man laughs and tells him he played himself. Corey loses it, and Chum finally realizes he's been pranked from the start. Pawn shop humiliation never disappoints.
One left-handed coffee cup.
Well, it is a bucket of steam.
You wanted a bucket of steam.
No, ask and you shall receive, but be careful, that's hot.
But this is just a regular coffee cup.
No, that's left-handed. It says on the bottom of it, look.
And you filled it too full. I want to get you, Chumlee.
You did this to yourself.
Walking into the gold and silver pawn shop is one thing. Walking in with an object that literally helped invent America's pastime? That's a whole different league. Adam sets down a fragile book that instantly grabs Rick's attention. And you can tell this isn't just another dusty collectible. Adam wants $6,000 for it, but Rick knows history this old can either be priceless or an expensive mistake.
I'm not going to throw you a curve with this one.
Okay.
I brought you the first printed book with American baseball rules. I can promise you it's not a price out of the ballpark.
Stick with books, stay away from comedy, dude.
Maybe only a dozen copies exist of it.
It's really cool. It's a cool sports collectible. It's a cool book.
Adam starts breaking it down, explaining the book was printed in Boston back in 1834 and even includes illustrations of kids playing early versions of baseball on Boston Common. Rick looks stunned. This thing existed before baseball even knew what baseball was. No uniforms, no rule books everywhere, just organized chaos. Still, Rick needs proof before paying premium money. Time to call in reinforcement.
It actually has a wonderful illustration of children playing on the Boston Common, the actual game of baseball. It is the first printed rules of American baseball, and it is the first time they ever printed the baseball diamond.
Okay, this game sort of slowly popped up and it really got popular during the Civil War. You didn't fight every day, got to do something, so they'd start playing baseball.
Enter Jeremy, the sports expert, who barely touches the book before realizing he's holding something special. He confirms it's authentic and extremely scarce, explaining that very few of these survived. Adam can barely hide his excitement, while Rick's expression shifts into full business mode. Then Jeremy casually drops that the book could be worth up to $10,000. That number hits the room hard.
You know, I mean, I just don't know anything about it. I've never even heard of them, you know.
I know exactly what this thing is. This is the first time I've actually had an opportunity to see it in person. This is a truly awesome book in the world of baseball.
Wow, it's great to hear.
You know, the term baseball had been around before this book, but what this book did, it brought together baseball, diamond.
Now comes the showdown. Adam sticks to his $6,000 price like it's sacred scripture. Rick counters at $4,000, reminding him this isn't a collector's vault, it's a pawn shop. Tension builds as neither side budges. After some serious back and forth, they finally lock in at $5,000. Adam leaves thrilled, Rick lands a historical gem, and baseball history gets a new home.
I'm going to throw you a curveball and I'll give you $3,500. That sucks.
I'm not swinging.
$3,500.
I mean, you heard what Rebecca said, it can go up to $7,500.
I know, but that's in a retail price here, and you understand retail is long and involved.
Sure, I don't even want to beat you up this time. So what about $4,500?
It's a great book. but it takes a while.
Yeah, no, I understand this has appealed to both sports people.
The next seller marches in with a massive Civil War era drum, claiming it's been passed down through his family for generations. Rick immediately notices the heavy wear and tear, which could mean battlefield use, or just age. The seller confidently asks for $12,000, but Rick isn't about to gamble that kind of money without expert confirmation.
It's a Civil War drum you just can't beat.
No, you could.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's definitely cool, man. The way it was, when you were out on the battlefield, they would have a different drum beat for different commands. Attack, retreat.
Once the price is mentioned, Rick brings in his drum expert, who starts with a wild historical fact. Some Civil War drummers were as young as 9 years old. 9! Imagine trying to keep soldiers in rhythm while actual cannons are firing nearby. Rick listens closely, knowing this drum's story is about to make or break the deal.
There's been a lot of repairs done to it, and I still got to figure out the date on it. So if you don't mind, I would like to call a friend of mine in. He will know everything about this.
All right, great.
Okay. So hang on.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. I'm not really shocked to find out there was a little bit of restoration on the drum.
The inspection doesn't go the way the seller hoped. The expert explains the drum likely isn't from the Civil War at all. It's more consistent with late 1800s parade drums. Still old, still collectible, but nowhere near battlefield level valuable. The seller's confidence evaporates on the spot as reality sets in.
From the Civil War?
All right. You know, the youngest drummer in the Civil War was 9.
Whoa.
Yeah, a fellow named John Clem. He was a little tiny kid.
Sure.
You know, and you look at him and you think, you were on the battlefield. The bombs going off and the bullets flying.
Rick goes straight for the jugular with a $500 offer. The seller quickly fires back with $1,000, and the negotiation turns into rapid-fire numbers flying across the counter. After some tense moments, they finally agree on $950. The seller accepts, joking about needing space at home, while Rick adds another piece of Americana to the shop.
It's not Civil War, okay? I'm looking at $500.
You know, I can understand not 12,000. 500. You know, this is a piece of Americana.
When you sell something, you sell a story. The story previously was you had a young boy in battle during the Civil War. We have now the story is once every 4 or 5 months, they pulled this drum out and they paraded down the street.
Then things take a lighter turn when a heavy cast iron ice shaver hits the counter. The seller laughs about how rusty it looks, while Corey is already imagining shaved ice treats, clearly amused by how simple and sturdy this thing is. Old school fun, powered by muscle.
I'll tell you what, I'll go 900.
Meet me in the middle, 950, and it's done.
All right, I'll do the 950.
Sounds
all
good.
Right.
I accepted the 950 because it does take up too much space in my house. Kids and the dogs, I figured I would accept his offer.
What the hell is this?
It's a cast iron ice shaver.
The seller explains he snagged it at a garage sale and believes it dates back to the 30s or 40s. Corey agrees, explaining how machines like this were a cheap way to bring joy before modern entertainment existed. The seller admits he just wants money for plane tickets to visit his son, instantly softening the whole room.
So, do you know how old it is?
I don't, actually. I found one similar online. It was from 1943. It's made in Japan, but it looked just like...
That would make sense. I would say it's probably 1930s, 1940s. Just the way it's built, the cast iron. I mean, for how old it is, man, it's in really good shape.
When it's time to name a price, the seller asks for $900. Corey counters hard at $300 because pawn shops don't do sentiment. After a quick, friendly back and forth, they shake hands at $350. The seller walks out smiling, turning a forgotten garage sale find into a family reunion fund.
For 900?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, man, I could see possibly selling this to somebody who had like a 50s themed diner or something like that. I don't see being able to get 900 out of it. I'll tell you what, I'll give you $300.
Before?
$300 is what I can do.
What about 350?
Meet me over there, I'll write you.
All right.
The doors swing open, and suddenly it feels like history class got violent. A seller stomps in gripping a Civil War officer's sword like he's ready to reenact a charge. Rick's eyebrows shoot up. The seller drops the bomb. $15,000. Everyone freezes. Rick slows things down fast, because this sword could either be a museum piece or an extremely expensive wall decoration. The tension hits instantly.
Hey, how can I help you?
Good afternoon.
A cavalry sword.
Civil War officer's sword, model 1860. Belonged to Colonel Bassett.
This is pretty cool. It was pretty cool. What's his name again?
Bassett.
Okay. Do you know much about this?
Rick doesn't gamble on guesswork and brings in Sean, the weapons specialist. Sean dissects the sword piece by piece, blade shape, hilt style, Union cavalry details, confirming it's the real deal. Then comes the reality check, $8,000 to $10,000. The seller's confidence visibly leaks out of the room. Rick plays it cool and tosses out $6,000. The seller fires back hard. After a sharp back and forth, they land at $8,500. No muskets fired, but Rick absolutely controlled that battlefield.
A guy brought a sword into my shop that he says belonged to a general in the Civil War, General Bassett. The problem is, I don't know if it was used in battle, and I know nothing about this Bassett guy. So I'm bringing in the smartest guy I know because he's always got the answers.
The vibe immediately nosedives into something unsettling. A seller lays out a veterinary medicine kit from the early 1900s packed with bottles that look like they should stay sealed forever. And Rick looks like he's imagining lawsuits. The seller wants $2,000. Rick's intrigued by the history, but clearly aware this thing is basically a biohazard museum. I'm just wondering how many diseases are sealed in those jars.
This is really neat. This is a homeopathic veterinary kit. The weird thing is it's homeopathic for animals. I mean, it was pretty common, especially back then, to just basically take a few things.
Next, the shop pivots to global history. A seller presents a 1936 Berlin Olympics pin, and suddenly, the room gets serious. Rick locks in immediately. The seller wants $5,000. Rick knows how dangerous Olympic memorabilia can be, especially from this era, so he refuses to guess. Expert time again. This one could soar or sink instantly.
What do we have there?
We got a 1936 Olympic pin from Berlin, Germany.
Where in the world did you find this?
Well, 2 or 3 years ago, I was playing poker with this old German man. We called him Goose. I beat him out of a couple $100, and he only had 100. He drank so much that night, he wanted to give me that for the other 100, so I took it.
Then chaos rolls in on tiny metal feet. A seller unloads vintage tin robots, all bright colors and stiff movements. Rick's inner collector wakes up, and Chumlee instantly bonds with one like it's alive. The seller wants $1,500. Chumlee checks condition carefully while Chumlee adds sound effects nobody asked for. The pawn shop now feels like a retro toy aisle with zero supervision.
Roscoe Nomura, 1962 astronaut robot. This one is really nice.
Yeah, it doesn't look like anyone played with these. They didn't play like I did.
I'm gonna spend the money on more toys.
All right, this is pretty cool. The Marx Company has been around since 1919, and they were known for making tin toys, plastic toy soldiers, toy sets.
Toy expert Marion confirms the robots are authentic mid-century pieces, but condition drags them down. Scratches, worn gears, cosmetic damage. Value lands at $800 to $1,000. Seller frowns. Rick offers $500. Seller counters aggressively, and after some back and forth, they settle at $700. Chumlee happy, sellers conflicted, and I'm watching a deal powered entirely by childhood nostalgia and poor robot maintenance.
They seem pretty sweet, and he even has a box for one of them. But he's asking $5 grand for the pair, so I'm getting Johnny down here to check them out before I buy them, because I have no clue what they're worth. I know you love tin toys, that's why I called you down here.
Sweet, man.
This one actually says NASA on it.
Yeah, Colonel Haphazard.
And then Chumlee makes it weird. He lines the robots up, declares them security, and starts issuing commands like he's running a sci-fi boot camp. And customers don't know whether to laugh or slowly back away. I'm losing it. This is what happens when you give Chumlee objects with faces. Absolute pawn shop chaos.
He's nice and white. It definitely speaks out that, you know, everything's 100% authentic. It's great that you have the box for Colonel Haphazard. That's a big deal to collectors. I mean, these are fantastic. Let me just turn them on. Dude, that's so cool. I mean, if I was a kid in the 60s, these two would be going at it all day long, you know?
The final item brings things back down to fragile reality. A seller carefully presents an 1800s milk glass lamp, asking $1,000. Rick appreciates the craftsmanship, but immediately spots cracks, missing elements, and rewiring. Rick calls in Rebecca, and suddenly everyone's whispering. This thing is history, but history with problems.
I'm not going to take the offer of $2,200 because I know a lot of collectors that will be more than happy to pay the price that I'm asking.
Hey, how's it going? We have a lamp.
Yes. It's a milk glass oil lamp made by the Dutch company Royal Zanzara.
Okay, this is what you'd see in Victorian times in the United States.
The episode winds down with Rick praising the sword, Corey clowning the medicine kit, and Chumlee still pretending he commands robotic forces. Rick mutters under his breath, and the shop stays loud. From war relics to political history, creepy cures to clunky toys, this episode delivered non-stop tension and comedy. Pawn shop chaos at its finest. No breaks, no mercy.
You're the best, man.
Good to see you. Very good to meet you. Thank you. Unfortunately, the sword is in terrible condition because if it was in good shape, you'd have people lining up around the block that would want this.
All right, I'll tell you right now, if this thing was in beautiful condition, I'd offer you $10,000 for it because you have a Civil War